On a scorcher at Autzen, the Ducks turn up the heat on the Wolfpack. Darren Thomas with a six-pack on Nevada as the Oregon offense finds its groove. At Camp Randall, mistakes snowballed on the Beavers as the Badgers pounded away on Oregon State. Now a much-needed bye week awaits OSU. In Durham, the Cardinal takes its show on the road against Duke, and luck had its way with the Blue Devils. In Seattle, the price was right for the Huskies as Washington needed every bit to outlast Hawaii. In Boulder, it took overtime to settle the score between the Buffs and Bears, and at the Coliseum, the Utes took the Trojans down to the wire before USC threw a block party. It's only week 2, but things are starting to heat up on this edition of Inside the Pac.
At Oregon. Wide open. Thomas, what a move! Breakaway speed. The Black Mamba striking again. Touchdown, Oregon. 69 yards.
Darren Thomas, DeAnthony Thomas, LaMichael James, and the rest of the Ducks find their groove against Nevada. Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside the Pac. I am Tom Ward. He is Nick Krupke, and our in-studio analyst this week, former Oregon punter Kurtis Doerr. Kurtis, thanks for joining us this week.
Appreciate it, Tom. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, we finally saw the team that many believe Oregon to be against Nevada on Saturday. Just your thoughts on that Oregon offense finally getting on track.
Yeah, this game came at a good time, I feel. LSU was a tough game against a great opponent, and now this week I think it's good for the confidence of all the players to put up that many points and go up and down the field that many times. It's going to do a lot, I think, for the Oregon Ducks the rest of the season.
Well, on offense, particularly Oregon's offensive line, we've seen it have its struggles against LSU. Didn't look perfect again against Nevada.
Yeah, they didn't, but we lost some key players last year, and I think the rest of the season, every game and every snap that these guys take, they're going to get that much better, and hopefully it'll be like the Boise State year.
Well, Nick, Oregon State now seemingly regressing as this season goes along. They just get hammered at Wisconsin, and really lots of questions now when you look at not only the running game, but the quarterback situation and how they're going to stop anybody and get that defense off the field.
Last week we're kind of all caught off guard and go, wow, Sean Manning's in the game, and then he plays the rest of the game. And kind of Mike Riley doesn't really want to allude to that they've made a decision yet, and maybe they haven't, but it certainly seems like Mannion is their guy. And then you look at what the ESPN sideline reporter said, hey, Mannion's more accurate, he gets rid of the ball quicker, and he's just got better reads on things than Ryan Katz does, and it's just kind of that's just the way things go. And I know it's big boy football, the best guy's got to play, but you look at Katz coming in his junior season, they hope that he would make that jump to be the leader that they expect him to be. When you're looking at guys with 9 true freshmen, they got 16 new starters at this point in the season. You'd like to have an older guy hanging out, but it looks like right now it's Sean Mannion.
Right, and adding to the Beavers' problems, 23 yards of rushing in this game, and really without Malcolm Agnew, who was the nation's leading rusher coming into this game, not a lot to be excited about if you're watching the OSU running game. So lots of things for Mike Riley and his squad to work on, but let's get things moving here. And back to full strength on defense. Head coach Chip Kelly reinstated suspended linebacker Kiko Alonso on Friday, and then did the same for All-American Cliff Harris on Saturday morning for the home opener at Autzen. Those who did not play against Nevada, Josh Huff, who has been hampered by a leg injury all fall camp, and Kenyon Barner, who was injured against LSU. Turns out the Ducks didn't need either of them against the Wolfpack. We go to the first quarter. The opening possession saw 2 fourth-down conversions, and LaMichael James caps an 11-play, 79-yard drive with a 4-yard touchdown run. PAT, they went for 2, and it was no good, so it's 6-0. After a 3-and-out, Ducks find the end zone again. Darren Thomas to Lavagier, 2-and-A, 3-yard connection, 13-0. Ducks just getting started. We go to the second, and Thomas continues with the hot hand, finds James coming out of the backfield. Good night, so long, see you later. 44-yard touchdown, 20-0 Ducks. And then more from Thomas. This time he finds the JC transfer, Rasan Vaughn. 25-yard TD, his first as Duck, 27-0. Thomas finished 13 of 19 for 295 yards and matched Joey Harrington and Danny O'Neill's single-game record with 6 TDs. TD pass number 4 comes when he hooks up with Colt Lyerla, the true freshman from Hillsboro, 20-yarder, 34-0. Oregon with 331 yards passing on the day after Nevada made it 34-7. Thomas to Thomas. Darren to another true freshman, DeAnthony Thomas, 24 yards, 41-7. Ducks at the half. Third quarter, special teams gets into the act. LaMichael James filling in for Kenyon Barner on punt return, and James houses it. Breaks a couple of tackles, and he's gone. 58 yards for the TD, 48-7, a hat trick of scores for LeMike. Following a Nevada touchdown, it's Thomas to Thomas part 2. Darren to DeAnthony, and DeAnthony picks up some blocks, and he's gone. 69 yards, 55-13 Ducks after 3 quarters. We go to the 4th, and the Ducks still not done. Under 30 seconds left, Nevada backup QB Cody Fajardo throwing it, and he finds Bo Lacumbo, and Lacumbo is gone the other way. 67-yard pick 6 for Lacumbo as he houses it, and a big turnaround for Darren Thomas and the Ducks after that loss to LSU, 69-20. Oregon's 17th straight win at Autzen, 603 total yards for Oregon, and a very balanced attack, 331 passing, 272 rushing.
And it did it all over. That blocked field goal from John Boyette, the pick by Troy Hill. You saw the pick 6 by Lacumbo. So what's Missouri State think now that they see the Ducks hang 69 and the Wolfpack with 10 total touchdowns?
Well, Curtis, you've been a part of some games like this. Ironically, 72-10 against Nevada at Autzen Stadium back in 1999. What does a win like this do? How much does it heal those wounds from that LSU loss?
I think it does a lot, and it does a lot for every player that contributed. I remember that year we continued to roll out through the season and put up good numbers against a lot of the opponents that we had, and we're able to get to the Sun Bowl and take down Minnesota in the Sun Bowl.
Yeah, what happens here is the defense, after the offense scores, the defense then Troy Hill gets an interception, and that really starts to get things rolling.
Yeah, there's just so many highlights in this game. It's amazing. They're all flashing by so fast, and I think this came at a great time. These kids are all extremely talented. A lot of them were on the team last year, and just to kind of remember the things that they did last year going into next week, I think this is going to snowball for the rest of the season.
And we see LaMichael James house the punt there as a punter. Okay, not that it happened to you at Oregon, but I know at some point in your career you've had a punt taken back for a touchdown. How demoralizing is that?
It hurts, and you can see there, that was good coverage there. But the looks like the extra conditioning that LaMichael did, and the extra weight that he put on, he was able to break a few tackles there, and it's hard. You can feel like you put a good punt up in the air, and all of a sudden you see they run by you at 100 miles an hour, and it's frustrating, and it's a big play anytime special teams can score a touchdown.
And one more thing that might have gone overlooked in this game, when you look at the punter, Jackson Rice, he only punted 4 times, had a 55 long and an average of 44. Pretty good job by him, especially with the wind.
I was at the game yesterday, and 3 of his 4 punts were into the wind. And a lot of people I don't think realize, because it's warm out, they don't think, but that wind is howling, in your helmet when you're out there and you're going into the wind. And 3 of his 4 punts were into the wind, and he had some great punts into that wind. Very nice job by him.
Yeah, him getting back on track as well. Mm-hmm. Having the distinction as the first Pac-12 team to lose to an FCS opponent in 15 years, the Beavers rolled into Camp Randall Stadium against the 8th-ranked team in the land that had won 29 consecutive non-conference games. Making matters worse, Oregon State was without freshman running back Malcolm Agnew, who suffered an injured hamstring in practice. To Madison, where OSU had lots of questions about the quarterback situation. Redshirt freshman Sean Mannion figured to play, but junior Ryan Katz got the start. Meanwhile, the Badgers with no problems at QB. Russell Wilson coming off a career game against UNLV. First quarter, punter Johnny Hecker, normally very good, shanks the punt, setting up the Badgers at the 15-yard line. It goes for -4 yards. The Big Ten Player of the Week then takes advantage of the field position, finds tight end Jacob Peterson, 17-yard score, 7-0 Badgers after 1 quarter. In the second, on 3rd and 5, Wilson then throws the fade to 6'3" Nick Toon. Just goes right up and over Rashad Reynolds. Wisconsin up 14-0. And then the backbreaker, if it could be one, early on in the game, the Badgers go on a 12-play, 72-yard drive and convert on 3rd down 3 times on this drive, including a 6-yard touchdown to Peterson, his 2nd of the game, and Wisconsin feeling it, up 21-0 at the half in complete control. 3rd quarter, the opening drive for the Badgers, and Monty Ball kicks it outside, and like a ball rolling downhill, takes it 19 yards for the score. Wisconsin goes up 28-0. Beavers really can do nothing about it. Oregon State tried to get something going. On 4th and 2, they go for it. Brandon Cooks on the fly sweep, though, gets thrown out of bounds, stopped short. and that about ended it. And before the fourth, the fans do the jump around, a little extra exuberance with the shutout intact, a Madison tradition, and it truly was a house of pain as the Badgers turned around the fourth down stop into another touchdown ball, 1 yard leap. He finished with 121 on the ground, and the Beavers get shut out in Camp Randall, 35-0. Oregon State's first shutout since the Stanford game last season. Oregon State ran the ball for 23 yards on the ground. Mannion, though, lone bright spot, 25 of 38, 244.
A lot of those came late. Meantime, Cats only 3 pass attempts. He took 6 snaps. Wilson, 189, 3 touchdowns, all in the first. Ball of 2 touchdowns. That's 6 on the season for him in just 2 games. Boy, has there ever been a bye week more needed after 2 games than this one, as the Beavers hope and need to get some healthy bodies back before UCLA comes to Corvallis on the 24th. Agnew, Halahuni, Fromm, and maybe James Rogers could all return against the Bruins, as the Mike Riley team has never gone 0-3 at Oregon State. And for the second year in a row, second week in a row, again, we're talking about third down defense. They could not get off the field as the Badgers 8 of 10 conversions on third down. All 3 first half touchdowns came on third down. Coach Riley also said the Beavers will use that bye week to evaluate that quarterback position. Cats primarily used as a runner, throwing the ball only 3 times. This for one of the guys who has one of the strongest arms in the league. Meantime, Mannion continued to display some progress and promise, but the majority again of his 244 came late in that fourth quarter when Wisconsin already had the game wrapped up. We talked about the run game pretty much non-existent for them. 23 yards on 24 carries without Agnew. And again, last week the quarterback situation really crept up on a lot of people. Now it appears that they are playing with Sean Mannion as their number 1, as their quarterback of the future, but that's what we thought Cats was. He's got 2 years under his belt, and now you move on, you kind of junk those last 2 years, and you get nothing out of it.
Well, certainly tough situation right now for Oregon State. They're really going to have to just do it on their own here. They're going to have to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, find a running game, find some consistency on offense, because otherwise this season is going to continue. They got the bye week, and then, before you know it, conference play is here. So not a lot right now for Mike Riley and the Beavers to be encouraged by, other than maybe Sean Mannion's progress, and we'll see how that goes as this continues. So the Ducks find their balance and return to balance on offense in a rout of the Wolfpack. Still to come. We'll go back to Autzen for more with Oregon as Darren Thomas and his gang experienced a return to normalcy.
Yeah, it felt normal. The scoreboard looked normal. When it's the big thing, I think I felt was in some games it's just we were going to get the big explosive plays, and we had those today.
And Pac-12 conference play got underway on Saturday, and what a way to start in LA. And as always, lots more Beavers, Ducks, and the rest of the Pac-12 online all the time at our website, InsideThePac.com. Back after this.